Good morning, students. Today we will be learning about the Cartesian signs convention for the lenses. As we did in the mirrors also, we just follow the graphical representation. Graphical, we compare the sign convention with our Cartesian system as we did in our maths according to the graph. Just observe this figure. In this, one x-axis is there on which F1 to F1, F2 to F2 points are marked, and one y-axis is there which represent the curvature of lens, either convex or concave. So if I compare with my graphical system, so in that particular case, these x-axis and y-axis are dividing the plane of paper into four quadrant. First, moving from F to F2, if we move anti-clockwise, then first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant. Right? Just observe on the extreme left hand side on x-axis, there I have represented one object. See the arrow? Arrow is representing the head and tail is on x-axis. So when we just observe, when we just take the consideration of the traveling of rays, so that always move toward the forward direction. It means from the object toward F1, toward F2, toward 2F2. Right? So here I have mentioned above in the first and the second quadrant direction of the incident light, that is toward your right hand. Right? Now, the intersection of these x-axis and y-axis is considered as origin, same as that of the graph. So, if we move toward left, so distances measured from optical center, here I have mentioned that against the direction of the incident light are taken as negative, same as that in our case of graphs. Similarly, from the origin to the right, they are in the same direction of the incident light, and these distances, that's why taken as positive. So toward right, distances are positive. Toward left of the optical center, distances are taken as negative. Similarly, above the principal axis, distances are taken as positive, and below the principal axis are taken as negative. So once more I am repeating, all distances, the very first convention, all distances are measured from the optical center of the lens. Right? That is the intersection point of the x-axis and y-axis. Second convention, the distance measured from the optical center in the direction of the incident light are taken as positive. Try to observe above and below the F2 and 2F2. Both the lines, arrows are in the same direction, and that's why these distances are taken as positive. Third convention, distances measured from the optical center against the direction of the incident light are taken as negative. Try to observe the third quadrant and fourth quadrant. In the third quadrant, direction of incident light is toward right. But in the third one, distances measured from the optical center, arrow is toward left. They are anti-parallel to each other. That's why these distances are taken as negative. Fourth convention, the distances measured upward and perpendicular to the principal axis are taken as positive. Similarly, last convention, the distance measured downward and perpendicular to the principal axis are taken as negative. It means what happened? Object is taken as positive. If the erect images are there, they are above the principal axis. So positive. Inverted images are always below the principal axis, so taken as negative. Now, convex lens, few points are there. When real image is formed, real images means actual intersection, and in the ray diagrams what you all have observed, that real image is always formed on right hand side. So that is positive. Focal length is always positive. In the lenses, focal length, whatever we are considering just because of the first curvature. अगर first curvature को ध्यान में रखा जा रहा है तो first curvature is toward the right. तो उसका center of curvature और focus कहाँ होगा? Toward right. That's why it is positive. If virtual image is formed on the left hand side. So V is negative and all other points U negative, F positive. Concave lens, you all know that U is always negative, so negative. Concave lens always gives us virtual image, so negative, and focal length is negative because curvature is toward the left. Now, lens formula 1 upon V minus 1 upon U equal to 1 upon F. In the mirror formula 1 by V plus 1 by U. Only the difference is 1 upon V plus minus 1 upon U. And magnification यहाँ पे एक चेंज आ गया, वहाँ पे था minus V upon U. Here in the case of lens it is V upon U. Try to observe and keep it in your mind. In mirror formula 1 upon V plus 1 upon U equal to 1 upon F, and magnification is minus, but in lens just opposite of that, right? Now the linear magnification same as that in the case of mirror. The ratio between the height of the image produced by a lens to the height of the object is called linear magnification, or you can also write the ratio of the image distance to the object distance is considered to be linear magnification. Now, important points related to the convex lens. Same as that of mirror. When image is real, M is negative. Same size equal to 1, diminished minus 1 and large greater than 1. When image is virtual. When image is virtual, in that particular case, M is positive, right? And it is always diminished. So, M is less than 1. Magnification, here I have mentioned that magnification is same for mirrors and lenses, right? Now come to the next very important topic, that is the power of lens. Now try to observe these two ray diagrams. What we are observing? If just we observe the thickness of two lenses, the first one is comparatively thicker than the second one. Second one is a thinner. When the lens is thick, please keep it in this your mind. When the lens is thick, it means that curvature more. It is considered to be a part of a smaller sphere. But when a lens is thin, so it is considered to be a part of a bigger sphere, right? When smaller sphere, it means the radius is less, or we can say the midpoint of the radius which represent the focus, that is also less in case of thick lens, and in the case of thin lens it is a part of a bigger sphere, so radius is more, so focal length is more. And as per the rule, when parallel rays are passing through the lens, so what happened? They will focus, they will pass, they will concentrate at focus. So what you are observing, that in the first case more curvature is there, less focal length is there, and what you are observing, the converging power is more. मतलब rays जल्दी converge हो रही हैं. In the second case, part of a bigger sphere, that's why thin one, curvature is less, so F will be more, long focal length. And what happened? When the parallel rays are passed through this convex lens, so they are converging, no doubt, but they are converging comparatively further point, right? So it means that when the lens is thick, converging ability is more. When the lens is thin, converging ability is less. So it means that this ability of the lens to converge the rays, or similarly in the case of concave, the ability of the lens to diverge the rays is defined as power of lens. And what we are observing, less focal length in the first case, more ability to converge. In the second one, long focal length, so what happened? Less ability to, it means power is less. Try to observe this second one. First one, thicker lens, second thin, the same thing. In the thicker one, focal length is less, than compared with the second case. And what you are observing, parallel rays are coming in both the cases. In the first case, in both the cases, rays are converging at focus, but in the thick lens, focus is closer, so they are bending more fastly. Their ability to converge the rays is more, but in the second, focal point is far away. So what happened in that particular case? The ability to converge the rays is less. It means more power, focal length less. Less power, focal length is more. It means inversely proportional to each other. Try to observe this one also. Here I have taken with one example also. Positive lens. Why positive lens? Because the focal length is having, focal length of convex is positive. Here the focal length is negative. That's why they have written negative lens and positive lens. F is 20 centimeter. Be careful whenever you are going to calculate the power. In that particular case, convert the focal length into meter, right? And that's why you will be getting the power. So how we are going to define the power? It is defined as a measure of the degree of convergence or divergence of light rays incident on it. How much they are converging, how much they are diverging the light rays. In other words, it is the ability of a lens to bend the rays of light incident on it. It means this all depend upon the curvature of the lens, the thickness of the lens, कि how much they will bend. Numerically, formula is there, power equal to 1 upon focal length, and focal length should be in meter. Then only you will be getting the SI unit, diopter. If you convert it into centimeter, so that is 100 upon F in centimeter. And what 3 points I have given? Higher the power of lens, lesser is its focal length, inversely proportional. A thick lens has a shorter focal length but more power. A thin lens has a large focal length but less power. Now, unit of the power of lens. As per the formula, power equal to 1 upon F, and F should be in meter. So the unit will be per meter or 1 upon meter, and as a whole it is known as diopter. Right? So how you are going to define one diopter of power? One diopter is the power of the lens whose focal length is 1 meter. For convex lens, power is positive. For the concave lens, power is negative. Right? One more last formula that is given in the box actually, right? If 2-3 lenses are there and they are placed in contact with each other, very close to each other, then that particular combination will behave like a converging or a diverging lens. So to find the net power of that combination, that is given by P is equal to P1 plus P2 plus P3. Right? And after that you can calculate the focal length of that combination. Thank you.